want you to get ready to start seeing cameras because we film documentaries. Matter of fact, we have our doc drops. What's the date? December 15th. And this is going to be part of it. So we have a documentary. So the kids, they want exposure. They want to be on television. They want the lights and the action. But they got to understand the same thing that causes you to shine will show your blemishes as well.
Hello, Miami. This is 305 Sports Now, your home podcast and channel for all things Miami sports related. I am Will. Before I begin with what I want to talk about today, which is pretty much the whole commentary in regards to my video in reference to Deion Sanders is missing Mark Pope, the former Miami Hurricane receiver. I just want to let everybody know, those of you who thought I was a little one-sided in favor of Deion, actually, I do record these episodes at times very late at night and then air them in the morning. So before I recorded the episode before Mark Pope released a statement on Twitter. Okay, now since then Mark Pope did take down a statement, but I do have it for you, and I'm gonna read it to all of you on screen. Okay, so it says basically, no disrespect to anyone, but it's three sides to every story: mine's, theirs, and the truth. So I'm going to tell you mine. I'm going to start by saying I never disrespected anybody, such as my coaches, teammates, and anyone else within the building. I have never been a bad kid to be labeled as a cancer. Moreover, July 5th was my very first day going to Jackson. I went up there to practice with the team, and I was not enrolled, nor did I have a physical to even practice, but they still threw me out there, and I ended up getting hurt, which was not my fault. I came back to Jackson in August around camp due to me still finishing my class at UM. I missed the first week of camp due to my injury. First game, they didn't take me to travel for no reason. When I entered the transfer portal first game, I was let back on the team the following week, and this was the only chance I was given. I never needed two or three chances because I never did anything wrong to ask for another chance. After letting me back onto the team, Prime himself vouched for me to play Grambling State game. Moving forward, I was never able to get any reps in practice for no reason at all. They never gave me a full drive in a game. They would give me at least 3 plays. Moral of the story, I was never given a chance. Because of this, I stated, F this ish, I'm ready to go home, which resulted in me being kicked off the team. I never spoke down about the JSU family, nor would give me at the most 3 plays. Moral of the story, I was never given a chance. Because of this, I stated, F this ish, I'm ready to go home, which resulted in me being kicked off the team. I never spoke down about the JSU family, nor did I speak harmful to anyone on the team. I'll end it with this. Overall, I'm still grateful for the opportunity that was given to me thanks to Coach Prime. All right, so that's the side of Mark Pope, the wide receiver that was dismissed in the Amazon Prime special, Coach Prime, which basically features Deion Sanders' team, over in Jackson State. So that's his side of the story. The only thing I will say about his side is that he kind of like ratted out, the fact that Jackson State let him practice without a physical. But nonetheless, much luck to the kid. Hopefully he can move on, and maybe find another team. In particular, I do believe he has to sit out a year because that's the second transfer. So wherever he goes, he'll probably have to sit out a year. But the bottom line is, let's hope he can just move forward. And if he does have, from what I've heard, some attitude issues in particular, I've heard from different sources, not different sources, like basically local media here, has said in regards to his practice and his inability to want to memorize a playbook. That was his issues at UM, and Deion brought out other issues to light on his TV series, okay, which he got a lot of heat for. Now, first things foremost, before I started the show, I played a video, and I want to give a special shout out to NMD Sports. Grant does a great job with his YouTube content, and he's pretty much responsible for that video. And I put a link down in the bottom in the description section so you can check out his full report and analysis of the whole Deion Sanders being villainized thing in regards to his actions towards Mark Pope. Now, I will say this, okay? His opinion aside, I'm gonna give my perspective once again. A lot of you had a lot to say about my commentary, okay? I mean, a lot to say. I got told everything from clickbait, that I was trashing Deion, that I was one-sided. I even got told I need to work on my own brand in particular. Some of you I did mostly I tried dialoguing with. Some of you I did dialogue with. We ended up becoming pretty good friends after the episodes. And thank you for your support and subscription. Many of you told me that you did subscribe after we engaged a little bit in conversation. But I do want to say, so basically, what I'm trying to say is that I asked myself a few questions. What in the world did I say that got everybody so heated, or a lot of people so heated? Because some people actually agreed with the content I said in particular. And I kind of put it to one thing. I think many of you felt that I was trashing Deion Sanders because of the mentioning that he's about social media and the fact that I called him a showman. I had to retract the statement about Brittany Renner. Okay, Brittany Renner was there to talk, which by the way is another video, was there to talk about, the dangers of women and social media with these young athletes. I did make a video on that. Some of you told me about that, and I immediately corrected it. But some of you were very upset, in regards to the way I addressed Deion. The idea of showman, I'm not walking that back. I truly still believe that Deion Sanders is a showman. But what I want to tell you is that was not a shot at Deion. Okay, that's who Deion is. Deion Sanders was prime time. He calls himself Coach Prime, for goodness sakes. Deion Sanders was prime time when he was playing baseball, when he was playing football, when he was with the Niners, when he was with the Falcons, when he was with the Braves, when he was with the Yankees. When he was at Florida State. I mean, he was prime all the time. Okay, wherever Deion went, cameras followed him. All right. So he's basically taken that aspect of who he was as a player into his platform as a coach. That is there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I have no issue with what Deion is doing. Okay, and that does not mean that Deion Sanders does not care about the kids. Now, some of you may disagree with me saying that, but I want to tell you something. As an educator, you can't sit in front of a classroom and teach students, all right, and not care about the kids. Okay, because if not, you're gonna burn yourself out and you'll be miserable your whole life. I'm telling you, as an educator, I love what I do as a teacher. Okay, I do enjoy my job. All right, I can guarantee you, Deion Sanders, loves those kids, because let me tell you why. When he went to JSU, he took a pay cut. When he was working for the NFL Network, he was making $1 million a year. Okay, he was about to get a raise. They're about to boost him, I believe, to $3 million a year as a commentator. Deion Sanders took a pay cut to go to JSU, and even though he's making $5 million right now at Colorado, that was a pay hike. That's not comparable to a lot of other Power 5 coaches that are making, 10, $11 million, like Mario Cristobal, who's making $10 million a year, I believe. Nick Saban is up there, as well. Lincoln Riley's up there as well. Jimbo Fisher's up there in a $10 million range. Les Miles, he's basically making half of what the top coaches make in Power 5. All right, I'm talking about top coaches, okay? Make in Power 5. So Deion Sanders likes the kids. He loves the kids. He put JSU and HBCU schools on the map. They're getting time on ESPN in particular. The money that poured into JSU, the facilities that he helped build, because of him being there with his brand and his name, all right, put a lot of respect in Jackson State football, and he helped those kids out a lot in that school. He helped out that program as well. Okay, so Deion, I know for a fact, wants to mold kids. Deion wants to be great. Okay, Deion wants to be great at everything he does. He wanted to be a great football player. He accomplished that. He was a good commentator. Okay, and now he wants to go in. Now he wants to do it as a head coach. Nothing wrong with what he's doing. Okay, just because he likes the idea of documentaries doesn't mean he doesn't care about the kids. He's a very strong disciplinarian. From uniforms to practice time, to playbook, to understanding your playbook, all that stuff, to the classroom. Deion is very strict with these kids. Right? I've seen interviews with him firsthand. I've seen, I even started watching Prime myself. Right? He does things with love. All right. And listen, Deion could have stayed as a commentator, not dealt with the headaches of recruiting, headaches from boosters, all right, as well, having to deal with a much different culture of kid where if they don't start, they're gone. Okay, before, you had guys like Willis McGahee, Clinton Portis, they all waited their turn. That doesn't happen much anymore in college football. Deion's dealing with that, in particular. Let me tell you, I'm gonna give you some names. Deion could have eventually, because of who he is, reached the status money-wise. Okay. To give you an example, Charles Barkley at TNT is making $10 million a year. So is Shaq. And to sit next to Kelly Ripa, Michael Strahan, right? Michael Strahan makes $17 million a year in Good Morning America. All right. Deion Sanders is making 5 right now at Colorado, and before that, he was making only a 6-figure salary. This is a multi-million-dollar football player in the NFL, okay? And he was making over $1 million as a commentator for the NFL Network, and more than likely assuming would have moved on to maybe Fox Sports, Prime Video, all these things because of who Deion Sanders is. So just to let everybody who thought I was bashing him, criticizing him, the social media aspect that Deion is using is a recruiting tool. All right. He said it in that video. That's why I played that video for you guys. He basically said, you get a chance to be on TV. All right. But just to let you know, the good will also come with the bad. All right. So if you mess up, everyone's going to see it. And that's what happened to Mark Pope. Right. Mark Pope, did not meet the standards that Deion wants for his team. His team he put his team to a vote. They voted him out. Okay. I have no problem with what Deion did. Now, if you want to get mad at me for saying that, that's fine. That's your opinion. All right. But I'm not walking back the fact that I call Deion Sanders a showman. I find nothing wrong with that. Muhammad Ali was a showman, the greatest boxer of all time. Deion Sanders is one of the greatest cornerbacks of all time. Okay. I mean, Babe Ruth for his time was also a showman for the New York Yankees. All right. If Babe Ruth would be alive today playing baseball at the level these athletes are playing, he'd be on social media too with a brand himself. Okay. So the bottom line is that Deion Sanders, again, has a right to run his football team within the rules the way he sees fit. That's all. Okay. That's all. So Coach Prime, much luck to him. Much success at Colorado. Just don't poach Canes players. I mean, I don't want anybody flipping to Colorado who's at the U, in particular, because again, I am a Canes fan. It's who I am. But nonetheless, I just wanted to clarify that. By no means, by calling Deion Sanders a showman and saying he's all about the brand and social media, was that a shot at all. Okay, at all. Right? I know I could tell from what I've seen on video and his interviews, Deion Sanders, yes, he's being Coach Prime. All right. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have love for his kids and doesn't love what he does, because it takes a special person to be an educator and a coach. Because in the end, some of these kids don't have father figures at home. All right. And coaches coaches sometimes replace the role of the father figure. I mean, it's just the way it is. Same thing with teachers, as well. All right. I mean, teachers in the classroom as well. All right. That's it. My take. All right. Hope this clears a lot of things out of the air. All right. So that's it for me. I am Will for 305 Sports Now. God bless. See you soon. If you like what you heard, please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a good one. Bye-bye.